drill instructors. Is the class of 2022 ready for graduation?
Sir, yes, sir!
Bring them in.
Class, forward, march! Class, freezing up!
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order up! Lift, face! Seats!
Where have your children gone? I hope there's some clean rooms right now. Good afternoon and welcome to the, well, I'm going to say 9th Littleton Student Police Academy, but we can't figure out if it's the 9th or the 10th because of COVID. So, I wanted to say thank you to a few people that made this a full success. First and foremost, a huge thank you to you parents of these cadets here. If it was not for you allowing us to have them for the week, we would not have been able to give them the experience that they got. All the officers here at the Academy enjoy teaching, I think, as much as the cadets actually do here at the PD. Well, here at the school, but enjoying it at the PD. It's not very often we get to show young people, cadets, who we really are as police officers. Who's actually behind this uniform, who's in that cruiser, and who's behind the badge. This week they get to experience that. They get to experience the ins and outs of police work. They get to experience who that officer is that's teaching them, both on and off duty. I'd like to ask for a big round of applause for Detective Janakis, Detective O'Donohue, Officer Bowen, and all the other officers that took that time out of their busy lives to make this academy run smoothly. So where do I start? Day one. Was it what you guys expected or more? Parents, was it what you expected or more? It definitely was not a kiddie camp where some people in town refer to it as. This is a junior police academy. The full-time academy is 6 months long. We took those 6 months and we condensed it and crammed it all into 5 days. And boy, was it a long 5 days. Every one of them came into this academy unsure and not knowing what laid ahead or what was in store for them at this point in time. We can only hope that we were able to instill upon them some life values as police officers and try to apply both on the job and in their personal lives. It was apparent by today that all of them now know why it is so important to pay attention to detail. Again, a huge thank you to you who have made this a success. I hope that you enjoy the graduation ceremony, the films that they've put together for you, and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Well, the Chief took a lot of my thunder, but I just once again want special thanks to our drill instructors. We had a wonderful week with the kids. I'm so glad that you allowed them to come train with us and hang with us. But it really reminds us why we're all here, right? These kids had a blast with us, and we had a blast with them. All the officers that got to hang around with the kids really enjoyed it. This year's academy was a little bit different than the previous ones. We added a few more hands-on things, instead of less lecture and a lot more demonstrations and active participation. For example, on Monday, we had Sergeant Landry come in and do defensive tactics, teach them defensive moves and striking bags and basically self-defense. And the kids got to punch the bags, and a few kids could really punch the bags. And so that was the first day. The kids, and we did a lot of marching, and we did some aerobic exercises outside, some push-ups, jumping jacks, marching, all the things that we would have to do. The second day, we did our defensive driving, our EVOC, Emergency Vehicle Operations class, with golf carts, not cruisers. And we set up a nice elaborate course out back, and the kids have to maneuver their golf carts through without hitting any cones. We explained to them every cone and every barrel is either a person or another car. And sometimes we have to go to calls pretty quick with our lights on, and you have to be able to maneuver through cars without causing any damage. So then after that, we did some simulated car stops. They got to pretend to be police officers and motorists. And on the back of the lot, we set up a scenario with our police car with the lights on, and the kids got to talk in the PA and pull over each other and see what it was like to stop cars. And we taught them how we approach cars and our training, and we had a little fun with that. One of the drill instructors got a little injured as a result of that. I guess if you notice his face over there later. And then the third day, we had our SWAT demo. We went up to the Harvard Gun Club. Our NEMLEC SWAT team came down, demonstrated there's some of the equipment, the kids got to go into the Bearcat, which is their heavy assault vehicle, and they demonstrated their 40mm rubber bullet gun and their beanbag gun, so the kids could see our less lethal options. And then afterwards, we had the kids line up on our qualification line and shoot our targets like we would if we were qualifying. Like every year we're required to qualify with our handguns. But we gave them simuation guns, basically almost like a airsoft gun, and they all got to line up, and some kids never shot a gun before, and they all did spectacular. And that's one thing I want to say. The kids in this group, and all the instructors and the DIs, this is probably one of the best groups we've ever had. And we were able to do so much more with them as a result of that. But I could stay up here and talk all day, but we have a class speaker, Cadet Roberts, who's going to get up. If you want to step forward, Cadet Roberts, and you can take the podium. Following her speech, we're going to have a video presentation that was made by our Sergeant Fernandez, and it'll show highlights of the week. I'm turning over to Roberts. There you go.
Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sadie Roberts. I was a cadet here this week. This camp was the most fun and difficult and exciting camp that I've ever done. And I've done a lot of camps. Day one, it kind of starts similar to the first day of school. I know some of you haven't been to school in a while, so maybe you don't remember what that feels like. But you kind of you have to act on your best behavior, but you still want to test some boundaries so you know what's right and what's wrong. Some of you watched, but on the first day we got yelled at, and I mean like a lot. We got yelled at about stuff I didn't think was the most important, like our hair or our shirts or the color of our shirts or our shoes. I got nicknamed Circus Smirkus for a little bit because that's what was on my shirt the first day. First day, as you heard him say, we did defensive tactics, which was really fun. You know, getting to hit stuff is a great way to release anger and stress. Would recommend if anyone has not tried that yet. Day two, we started with a circuit exercise, which is kind of boring at first, but you know, great way to start the morning. Then we went to the fire department. At the fire department, we tried on their gear, which is extremely hot. Like you feel like you're gonna sweat through like 6 million shirts, if that's even possible. Then we saw a car get crushed, which is pretty cool. Just, you know, demo day. Love it. Then we played a game that they called water polo, where you try to use a hose as a team and push a bag with a ball in it across a zip line, across a court. Another thing we did on day 2 that was really fun was a crime scene investigation. We lifted fingerprints, we took notes, we took pictures, we found evidence, and we did a grid search. Never done a grid search before, another first for this camp. Day 3, we started with a relay race. It's really an adrenaline-filled start to the day, which is fun. On day 3, my voice and legs felt really dead. I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to talk today, but you know, here we are. We also did our driving that day, which is really fun to drive golf carts, even if you hit a few cones. Then we saw our canine demo, and Bojack came. We saw him do a drug search and an item search, and then we saw him run up and bite this guy's arm. And when that dog gets on you, he's not coming off until the police officer tells him to, so don't mess with the dogs. Day 4, which was yesterday, we started with a relay again. Not as exciting this time. Then we went to Harvard Range and saw the SWAT demo, which was pretty cool. And another first for me, I shot my first gun, which was fun. Really fun. And then we saw a motorcycle demo. The motorcycles is pretty crazy. They have to park within like 6 inches of each other. It's crazy. It seems very difficult. And today, we did our drunk driving in the golf carts. I'm not driving drunk. I can't drive. And then we saw the horses. The horses are huge. Like, I have a Great Dane at home, and the horses were like, their head was the same size as him. And that was very interesting. We got a bunch of questions answered. Even though the camp was difficult at some points, it was amazing. I liked that we got to do stuff instead of just sitting around and listening. Sitting around and listening is interesting and all, but it gets pretty boring pretty fast. I'd like to thank everyone who helped make this happen, including the parents and everyone at the station. I'd specifically like to thank Officer Bowen, Detective O'Donoghue, and Detective Janakos for making this experience as fun and memorable as possible. Thank you.
I have like goosebumps. That was one of the most amazing speeches I've ever heard from somebody in middle school. I mean, man, it's amazing. I tell you what, once again, probably the best class we've had. These kids are unbelievable. That detective, when we had him do a actual printing of a car, we had a mock felony vehicle that was involved in an armed robbery, and the guy took off. And we had these kids. I put handprints all over it. I gave them our dusting kit, and they did an amazing job bringing that print. I'd call them for backup and have them print. They did a wonderful job. But so that we're getting to the end of this here, and I want to go over what we did was this week. The drill instructors and the staff put together approximately 6 awards, special awards for different things. And as much as I'd like to give every one of these kids an award, because every one of these cadets were amazing. And if I had 20 different awards to give out, I probably would. 16 awards. So I'm going to start here with the most motivated award. When you hear your name, step up and come over and pick up your certificate and turn to your seat. Most motivated award goes to Adam Nachman. So step forward. Second one, Elsie Miller. Best haircut, first one, Joshua West. Followed by Angus MacGyver. We also have the Littleton Police Department Award from the staff, and that was presented to Tessa Resnick. Okay, drill instructor awards from the two drill instructors. The first one goes to Sadie Roberts. Followed by Olivia Mano. Finally, the Director's Award goes to Tiana Killian. Okay, here we go with the graduation certificates. And like I said, every one of these kids deserved an award of some kind. If I could give out left hook and right hook awards for like there's a few here that would get them. So, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to start over here with Cadet West, Joshua West. Olivia Mano. Right hand. Jason Janakos. Cody Rica. Juliana Sanchez. Connor Camelo. Elsie Miller. Angus MacGyver. Caroline Nash. Tessa Resnick. Adam Knockman. Aria Corby. Sadie Roberts. Tiana Killian. And Kevin Shelton. Drill instructors, dismiss the class for the final time.
Class, attend, hut! It is my distinct privilege and honor to dismiss you for the final time. You have made both Detective Rodoni and I proud and affirmed our salute. Class, dismissed!
Awesome job, guys. Good job, good job.